Typically, when you think about PlayStation, aside from their questionable business practices and lackluster showcases, you think of action-packed, cinematic experiences that introduce you to all new worlds of adventure, and no other game does that better than the one that started it all, Uncharted: Among Thieves. Now, whenever somebody talks about Uncharted, I always hear, I love this game so much, or this is the best game ever, stuff like that. But it does bring a great opportunity at hand. I've never played the second game, so why not check it out, since so many people put it on such a high pedestal. Now, for those who don't know what Uncharted is, it's an action-adventure platformer following Nathan Drake, this handsome fella, on his various escapades for historical artifacts. Just think of Indiana Jones or Lara Croft, but with a lot of guns. With Among Thieves serving as the anticipated sequel after the success of Drake's Fortune, using the full scope of the PlayStation 3 with the naughty engine 2.0, which I swear isn't a euphemism, to create a game that has resonated with the hearts of millions of fans to this day. But that begs the question, why do people love this game so much? It's been out for almost a decade, yet so many people list this as one of their favorite games, and after finally playing it, I can definitely see why. Just so we're all on the same wavelength, here's a quick rundown just so you know what I'm talking about. Our story follows Nathan Drake, a treasure hunter who's offered the chance to steal a Mongolian oil lamp belonging to Marco Polo from this tea lover Harry Flynn and his partner Chloe Fraser. Unbeknownst to Flynn, Chloe and Nate plan on running off with the lamp, but that kinda backfires when Flynn betrays Nate, leaving him to rot in prison. But with the help of his old friend Sully, Nate escapes prison and reunites with Chloe, where they learn that Flynn has been working for Lazarevich, a Serbian war criminal looking for the Chintamani Stone, a legendary artifact located in the lost city of Shambhala. Wanting payback against Flynn, they rush to find Shambhala before Lazarevich can, where they run into Elena, Nate's ex, which totally isn't awkward, or start off with them almost shooting each other, where big bad baldy Lazarevich makes his grand old appearance where he takes Chloe, kills a man, and says, hey, you're not worth my time, and dips, leaving Nate and Elena to continue their journey where they reestablish their former romance and discover the entrance to Shambhala. But not before Lazarevich corners them and shares his, questionable ideology, which gives the group time to escape and discover that the Chintamani Stone is resin from the Tree of Life that grants power to whoever consumes it, leading to a final confrontation in which Nate destroys the tree, defeats Lazarevich, and escapes as Shambhala returns to ancient legend. Now, obviously, this is a summarized version of the game's events because there's a lot of stuff I haven't mentioned because you should go play the game for yourself rather than watching some PNG. Like, what are you doing? But this is a pretty unforgettable experience. I don't know if it's like Uncharted 4 levels of good, but it's really close. But this isn't exactly an unpopular opinion because when this game came out, everybody freaked out. Because at this point, you didn't have a ton of realistic games that were similar to the cinematic experiences produced by movies. But when this game dropped, the perception of video games changed, as this became one of the fastest first-party games in 2010 with millions of copies sold, where it went on to win hundreds of awards and became Game of the Year. But as I asked earlier, what made people love this game so much? Well, it's simple. It's a game that knows what it is. It understands the story it wants to tell, and it does it effectively with stakes, action, drama, and heart. And it's just a really fun game to play, and that's what makes it great. It's not trying to be Martin Scorsese trying to make cinema. It's a game that knows its strengths and it plays into them, and improves every way possible from its predecessor. Now, don't get me wrong. I really like Drake's Fortune. It's a good game, but not one without flaws. For example, the game's movement is really slow, and it doesn't listen to the inputs you put into the controller. And in here, they fix that. Whether I'm jumping or shooting, I have total control over the character's actions and movements. Well, for the most part. But the gameplay is way more polished and refined. Whether it's jumping building to building or wiping out a squad of troops, the game just feels really good to play. And with additional life improvements, it provides a lot more opportunity as the game gives a greater option for stealth, expands on hand-to-hand combat, and the usage of weapons. In the first game, I always had ample firepower, so I didn't have to worry about switching out weapons or running out of ammo. But here, it really hammers in how often you need to switch out guns and think on the fly to engage against a variety of enemies and how much ammo you consume. And it's all boosted by how incredible these set pieces are, as you fight man and machine for your life, each one more memorable than the next. As you fight on a stockpiled train through the countryside and mountains, a war-torn city being decimated, and a collapsing ancient city. The scope of this globe-trotting adventure is bigger than ever. Every area just feels so expansive and lived in. Whether it's the destroyed city streets or a village in Nepal, this game is just teeming with life. In the first game, you were limited to an island which was mainly made up of trees, but here there's so much variety and exploration, it creates a truly immersive experience. But the true immersion comes from the game's story and characters. Sure, you can have a game that's fun to play, but if you have a bad story, yeah, you're kinda done for. But in this case, Amy Hennig cooked. Since Drake's Fortune had already set these characters up, Among Thieves takes its time to develop Nate on his journey while throwing new characters and locations into the mix, where the way he grows as a person aligns with his rekindling of his relationship with Elena. And while he may be thrown into a love triangle, a mature one mind you, not filled with teenage angst, he's still able to become better and do the right thing for the people around him. Cause let's be real, Nate's not that great of a guy. He's self-centered, always looking for his next score, killing whoever he has to, and only caring about the few select individuals in his life. Just, with the help of his maxed out luck and charisma. Heck, even at the start of this, he tries to get payback on Flynn by finding Shambhala first, which, I mean, fair, but Nate isn't exactly some righteous dude doing this for morality's sake. But as he spends time with Elena, somebody he genuinely loves, he starts to mirror her care for others, like helping people in the village, helping her injured cameraman, and genuinely caring about stopping Lazarevich from hurting more people. Where his motives switch from his ego, payback, and desire for treasure to doing the right thing for the sake of everyone, even at the cost of his own life. And while Lazarevich may be a one-and-done villain, he serves his purpose well, with time taken to make him a genuine threat and to the lengths he will go for his desire for power. With returning characters like Sully and Elena, and new characters like Chloe and Flynn expanding upon this world with their fun endearing personalities, as they add to the tension and stakes of the story and affect Nate in different ways, where they each have their own set of goals and motivations that drive elements of the story forward. It's just a really solid story, and sure, it has its flaws here and there, but the sheer amount of positives outweigh them by a landslide. I do get though that not everyone is a fan of this type of game or fully supports some creative decisions, but if it wasn't for this, we wouldn't have games like The Last of Us, another game produced by Naughty Dog, or the cinematic experiences that PlayStation is known for. This game showed that games can have the same level of storytelling as movies, and it brought in a whole new generation of storytelling which connects with its audience, which are still beloved to this day. And during a time where there's only so many good games released each year, it's always nice to go back to these older titles, which were made out of love and focused on making a good game with a good story, where you can look back on this over a decade later and realize how great of an experience it was. Remembering the hardships, laughs, emotions, surprises that it provided, and realizing the game is just as good as you remember it. If you made it this far, please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy the kind of content I'm making. This is Balthazar, signing off.